Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Skola K.Belle. I'm coming to you live from my website, The Real Skola at YouTube.com. Today, what I'm going to get into is table etiquettes. And the only reason I'm getting into this is because I was taught this as a youth. So I want my children to be able to understand how to sit at the table with proper etiquettes and also set the table. So first, we're going to start off with something simple. It's called being seated. When you have a chair like this is a wood chair and this is an oak table. What you do is you take the chair and lift it off the floor as follows, then put it down. And when you take a seat, you lift from under the bottom and lift the chair back up and then scoot forward so that you don't mess up the wood floors. As you can see, I'm dressed in a button-up shirt, slacks, and dress shoes. So I'm dressed for the occasion, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to dress that way to go out and eat or go somewhere formal and eat, because you can have on jeans, a striped polo shirt, or a button-down shirt, and some Jordans or Timberlands, and you shouldn't see a problem. Alright, as far as setting the table, you don't necessarily have to have a table mat, but what I'm missing here is a napkin. You always have a napkin to the right. You have your plate in the center. You have your dining fork to the left. Have your cutting knife to the right. Then you have your tablespoon to the right. Then above that, you have your dining fork and your teaspoon. And to the right of that, you have your glass for your water, your juice, then your wine glass. And then after dinner, you remove the plate and your silverware. Then you have tea. And that's why you have the fork above your plate, because that's for dessert. You have your tea. And that's how you set the table for dinner. As you can see, there's 8 chairs here. One of them right here. But that's the head chair for the king, and the chair to the opposing side for the queen. And then you have husband on the right, wife on the left. And then you may alternate husband on the left, wife on the right. Then you may alternate again and have the wife on the right and the husband on the left. Now, as you can see, these plates have silver lining on them. But now we're going to move it up and step it up a level for those more sophisticated. This is fine china. Alright, when you set up, you still set up the same way. I have your dining fork on your left, your plate in the center, your knife on the right, and then your tablespoon to your right. And above the plate, you want to have your dining fork and your teaspoon. Then you have your goblet and your vase, or your flute for your wine. So this would be your goblet for your juice, your water, or your tonic. And then you have your tea, your teacup. And once again, you remove the plates. and then you have tea. That's the way it's done in England, even though we're Americans. Now, of course, when you're in an establishment where everything is eloquent, you have your champagne on a bottle of ice. There's a scorble, a merlot. So we don't have any ice here, but this would be a bucket that you'll put your ice on. And then if you want to have a drink, it will be served out of a pitcher that was similar to this. And you will either drink it out of a wine glass or a shot glass. And here's your Jack Daniels. Now, the last thing I want to show you about eating properly. And when it comes time to eat, and you're eating proper, in the proper setting, your knife is always in your left hand, and your fork is in your left. Remember that. So, if you're cutting your food, you'll stab into your food or your meat with your right hand, because your fork will be in your right hand. You'll plant there, and then you'll take your knife in your right hand, and use the knife like this, and cut your food like this. Then you'll take your fork, twist your food, take the meat or whatever out of your fork, twist it, and then plant in it, and cut your meat again. And you may twist it one more time and cut through it just like that. And that's the proper way to eat in a proper setting for those that don't know. And after that, of course, the chef never washes the dishes. So what happens then is usually the ladies wash the dishes, and the men go in the room and watch the football game or play chess or whatever it is they want to do, and have conversations about things, maybe business, network, get to know each other better. Now, another thing also, before I leave you, is that when you're sitting at the table, there'll be a lot of dishes, and the way to receive your dish that you would like is, can you pass me the greens? You would say something like that. And then you may hear someone say, pardon me, but here's the greens, because they don't want to reach over your plate. So they will pass you the greens, and they will pass around all the way this way until it arrives at you. Then you will say thanks. And you may say, what would you like? Some of the carrots. They may go around in a circle, or it could go from here to the person to your right, or here to the person to your left. It depends on how everything is moving around the table. So it's not difficult, but you must know how to move in unison and notice how everyone is eating. But I learned this very young, and I want my children, my son and my daughter, to know how to eat properly at a table with people. Because there's holidays like Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter. Some people even celebrate New Year's. You got Hanukkah, you got Kwanzaa, birthdays, 4th of July. I mean, you may eat at a table then, but more than likely it's out there picnic or something like that. But during these settings, you want to know how to eat properly. So that's what I'm saying. I just want to instruct y'all or teach y'all something y'all may have not known that I've known for years, because now they have courses in high school called etiquette, and that's etiquette, etiquette. So eating with proper etiquettes. And basically that would sum it up for this evening. But I just want you to see the arrangement and how you fix the table. And then you would know how to pass the dishes around and be more copacetic and feel, somewhat of normal and comfortable and wouldn't be embarrassed in those type of settings where you have established prominent individuals eating at the table with you. So that's what you do. So I'm signing out. Skola K.Belle.